This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. A major blow to Donald Trump. The U.S. Supreme Court has struck down tariffs he imposed on nearly every country. But Trump says he has other alternatives. For starters, 10% global tariffs under a trade law that allows such duties for 150 days. At a news conference, he railed against the court.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing. And I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country.
In its 6-3 decision, the court found the Constitution very clearly gives Congress the power to impose taxes, which include tariffs, not the president. The court did not address whether companies could get refunds for the billions they've collectively paid in tariffs. Those decisions are to be made by lower courts. Those sweeping tariffs have brought worries, concerns, and a general sense of unknown to many businesses for months. Now, in Manitoba, this Supreme Court decision is bringing some relief for the first time in weeks. But as CBC's Gavin Axelrod shows us, uncertainty remains about what happens next.
Even after its top court said his tariffs were an overreach, U.S. President Donald Trump vowed Friday there are more levies to come.
Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122, over and above our normal tariffs already being charged.
The U.S. Supreme Court ruled Friday Trump overstepped by using emergency powers to slap tariffs on countries, including Canada. It's welcome news for the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce.
The reality is that we knew that these tariffs were unjustified right from the beginning, and that's something that we've said since they were fully implemented back in 2025, that there was no justification for them coming into place.
Most trade between Canada and the U.S. is exempt from those tariffs because of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement. But levies on the steel, aluminum, and auto sectors remain. They have been among the most punishing to Canada's economy. Larry Johansson is the mayor of Selkirk, where about 1 in 20 people work in the steel industry.
It's a disappointment that steel, aluminum, and the autos are still left. It's something that's really it's troubling.
He's still hoping for the opening of interprovincial trade barriers.
And let's get steel right across the border, or right across our borders, or provincial borders. And I think that's really important. That's a big one for us.
Davidson's message to businesses in the province is not to change anything just yet. He says there are other things to keep an eye on, like the renegotiation of Canada's free trade deal with the U.S., and how that may impact businesses in Manitoba. Gavin Axelrod, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The contractor behind Winnipeg's police headquarters faced a barrage of questions today. Armic Babakanian was asked about an Arizona land deal that a Manitoba court previously determined was concocted to cover up a bribe. A court found Winnipeg's CAO, Phil Schiegel, accepted a $327,000 bribe from Babakanian in 2011 and 2012. Schiegel and Babakanian maintain the money was for an Arizona land. And today at the inquiry, the city's lawyer asked why there was no documentation at the time.
Remember, the deal is a handshake deal. I don't know how to emphasize that, and I do that all the time. The deal is a handshake deal. Whether there was email confirmation or not makes no difference for me, sir.
He was also asked why he didn't inquire about the value of the land or know the area where it was located. There are 40 more days left in the police headquarters inquiry, scheduled over the next 5 months. Winnipeggers whose businesses have been threatened with arson and violence now have a new place to turn. The province is creating a dedicated phone line for people who are being extorted. As the CBC's Ian Fraze reports, it's one way they hope to get victims to come forward.
2 masked men walk into Logan's Convenience last fall and split up. One points a gun at the employee, the other pours what appears to be gasoline. They force the employee out of the store and seconds later light it on fire.
The past 2 years we have seen an escalation in extortion with respect to the South Asian community. It's very concerning to us.
Scenes like that playing out in stores across central Winnipeg. Now the province is setting up a hotline for victims and witnesses of extortion. The challenge might be getting people to call.
I have not one, but a number of friends that are scared. They're scared to get a phone call that is ultimately going to extort money, and they're concerned about their families.
The province has given the Punjabi Chamber of Commerce $100,000, part of it to run the tip line. For it to succeed, the Justice Minister says the authorities need to build trust.
Here in Canada, the rule of law is what we follow, and you need to be comfortable in bringing forward your experience and your voice.
The development comes one day after Ottawa announced financial intelligence experts would be embedded within local police forces because investigators say it's money that fuels extortion. Ian Fraze, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A familiar face to Manitobans has been named Canada's new Chief Public Health Officer. Dr. Joss Reimer was the medical lead and spokesperson for Manitoba's COVID-19 Vaccine Implementation Task Force. Until last year, she was the head of the Canadian Medical Association. A third Manitoba hospital has been grey-listed by nurses amid ongoing safety concerns. Nurses at St. Boniface Hospital have voted to grey-list that facility. Grey-listing a hospital warns potential applicants to avoid working there. Nurses have long raised concerns about violence and inadequate security measures. They say those concerns have not been met with the level of action required to create meaningful, lasting change. The union previously grey-listed Health Sciences Centre and the hospital in Thompson. A new leader is at the helm of one of Winnipeg's largest homeless shelters. After a nationwide search, Siloam Mission has a new CEO. It's third in just the past 5 years. CBC's Mike Arsenault reports.
After a long search that attracted more than 1,100 potential candidates, Siloam Mission has chosen a new CEO, Sonia Prévost-Durbecker. She brings experience in housing, mental health, and community building to the table. She says Siloam's approach to dealing with homelessness is part of why she chose the role.
It is not just about food and housing distribution or food distribution. It's about a holistic approach to supporting our most marginalized. So that was a real draw.
Prévost-Durbecker is Siloam's third CEO in the past 5 years. She comes into the role as the city and the province are implementing their own homeless strategies. She says she supports their efforts, including the encampment bylaw.
This is a better alternative than living in a tent in -40, right? So we're happy to provide that support. And to be very honest, the more interface and interaction you have with people that are suffering on the ground, the better opportunity you have to provide systems and connect them to other supports.
Over the next 10 years, Siloam Mission aims to build 1,000 homes in Winnipeg in an effort to end chronic homelessness. Prévost-Durbecker says she plans to be at the forefront of that initiative. Mike Arsenault, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Norway House Cree Nation is seeking damages from the province of Manitoba, the Canadian government, and Manitoba Hydro. In a new statement of claim, Norway House leadership says the Lake Winnipeg Regulation Project, which was built in the 70s, has had destructive consequences. The regulation controls the lake's levels and outflow, and the chief says it's degraded water systems and local resources and steps on their treaty rights.
This has nothing to do with money. What we're asking the government and Hydro to do is armor that channel with proper material, armor the North Shore with proper material, dig out all that millions of sedimentation that has filled our lakes.
It plans to push the claim to trial in the coming days. All right, Riley, and Riley, a few flurries that we saw throughout the day today.
Yeah, not totally unexpected. In fact, Brittany, this is the remnants of that first low that pushed through parts of the province earlier in the week, having an impact. And you can kind of see that counterclockwise rotation on satellite and radar into northwestern Ontario, edging back into Manitoba, coming back for more. It's all interacting with another low that is sitting over the Great Lakes right now, and that's pushing some of that precipitation back westward again, hence why we've seen a few scattered flurries into parts of southern Manitoba throughout the morning and even into the afternoon here, along with some peaks of sunshine. Temperatures quite the spread across the province. -9 in Winnipeg. Don't be fooled. This was at midnight. Temperatures for the afternoon actually hanging around closer to -15 once we got into some of this colder air that's to the west. Around -15 in the west this afternoon, -15 in Thompson as well. And this is the temperatures that we're looking at as we get through the weekend here. So overnight temperature around -17 in Winnipeg. Mostly cloudy skies, maybe a few scattered flurries yet to come as we get into the morning hours tomorrow, and likely some peaks of sunshine, Brittany. A lot cooler into Saturday and colder for Sunday. We'll talk about that when I come back.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
How One Winnipeg program is helping keep some drug users safe and breaking the dangerous drug supply. That's next. Inside an unassuming building in Winnipeg's core, a small team is working to protect people from dangerous street drugs. They're trying to prevent deaths caused by toxic drugs with a safe supply program. It's an effort to give people an alternative to buying drugs on the streets or from dealers. The CBC's Alana Cole has that story.
It's biometric, so it's reading the blood vessels in your hand.
With the scan of a palm, medications dispensed. This machine, part of Main Street Project's efforts to protect people from dangerous street drugs. Brianna Sukram's the harm reduction nurse for their Safe Supply program.
During our intake process, we actually ask everyone, do they have fear of encountering a toxic supply or encountering a substance that could be fatal? And every person says yes. That has been in this program.
The program provides a select group of people primarily addicted to opioids a prescribed daily amount of the opioid hydromorphone. Dr. Shelley Turner's the medical director. She says participants go through an intake process, then get a prescription to meet their needs, which can be complex.
What we're trying to do is to give them enough that they need to function day to day so that they're not going to have withdrawal. Do some people need it to get the effects that they want? For sure. And what some people are dealing with, chronic pain, chronic non-cancer pain, and significant health issues.
Manitoba's Office of the Chief Medical Examiner says of the 292 drug-related deaths in the first 9 months of last year, 159 involved opioids. Turner says the program aims to prevent deaths and is blunt about why she believes in this work.
You can't treat dead people. You have to give people a chance. And if we turn people away, people are going to die. The supply is toxic.
The community-supported opioid access program, as Main Street Project calls it, has been operating for more than a year and a half. The team says there's 5 participants, the maximum they've had at once. People are also connected with wraparound supports like mental health or primary care. Main Street Project's Director of Community Initiatives, Karen Murison, says they're meeting people where they're at to help them achieve stability. She's seen the benefits.
We've seen someone reconnect with family and be with their children much more often. We've had a couple people return to work that haven't been working for a really long time. We've had folks that have been housed.
If a participant wants to stop using substances, she says they'd support those efforts. Turner says they prescribe hydromorphone. She wants to expand to other drugs like fentanyl.
Really what we're trying to do is to prevent Manitobans from dying.
Main Street Project says funding for the program initially came from a federal grant through a British Columbia program. Foundation funding and private donor support now cover costs, including medication not funded through health benefits. Alana Cole, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Northern Manitoba's biggest annual winter celebration is underway. The Trappers Festival in the Pas is one of the region's most popular events. CBC's Eric Westhaver went to see what the fuss is all about.
Happy Trappers!
The Northern Manitoba Trappers Festival is back. The Pas has hosted the event since 1948. Its roots go back to the days of the fur trade. Today's festival includes events like the Fur Queen pageant, where young women compete for the title tiara.
Happy Trappers!
One former Fur Queen says holding the title is an honor.
It's pretty inspiring, honestly. I would say that was like one of the big highlights of my life that when I ran for Fur Queen.
There's the Torchlight March Parade, the World Championship Dog Race, the King and Queen Trapper contests. The outdoor headquarters, Fort Whoop-It-Up, sports hand-carved ice sculptures and the famed Trapper's Chair. Dozens of volunteers in blue hockey jerseys aren't hard to find. Locals have their own favorite memories.
Honestly, I love the ambiance. I am a actual Queen Trapper, but my daughter is running for Fur Queen. The ambiance of everything and everyone, love it.
Running with the youth board. They always enjoy themselves, and family fun is great for the kids. They have a blast doing it.
Premier Wab Kinew, leader of the opposition Abi Khan, Manitoba Métis Federation President David Chartrand, and MKO Grand Chief Garrison Setti all came north. The Pas Mayor Andre Murphy says he enjoys the log saw-off. He and Chartrand beat Kinew and OCN Chief Michael Constant.
Overall, I really just enjoy all the activities that are bringing everybody together, and it's just a joyous time for everybody.
The festival continues with a packed slate until Sunday. Eric Westhaver, CBC News, The Pas.
Winnipeg firefighters are adding a new piece of equipment to their arsenal. That was the crew alongside some city officials at Station 1 pushing in its new platform aerial ladder truck, a tradition among firefighters. This replaces the current truck, which responded to more than 4,200 calls a year. All right, and they were doing that in not such terrible weather. Certainly it was warmer earlier in the week, and they may have enjoyed it a bit more, but a weekend to bundle up if you're going to get outside.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking at a return to temperatures below seasonal, and actually we'll take a look at this a little bit later. Temperatures along the Hudson Bay coast actually closer even to -30 in some cases. So I'm going to start in northern Manitoba because there's a couple of big events happening this weekend. Of course, you just saw the Trappers Festival happening in the Pas, Winterfest happening in Thompson this weekend, and we are looking at temperatures around -16 for that event in Thompson, -16 in the Pas as well, and temperatures into Sunday slightly cooler, and that's the trend that we're going to see as we get into the next couple of days. Maybe some flurries in Thompson into Saturday, which you'll see on Futurecast here. So clouds featuring again as we get into the day on Saturday. That's all the result of this dying low that's pushed back westward into northern Manitoba, and that will give some flurries tomorrow. Thompson, Gillam, Shamattawa along the Hudson Bay coast likely, and then high pressure that pushes in behind this will really clear us out into Sunday, will really cool temperatures down as well, particularly into northern parts of the province, but really province-wide, getting us into a new air mass here, a new pattern that keeps things below seasonal right into the middle of next week. So we're looking at temperatures dipping a bit as we get through Saturday into Sunday in particular, and maybe a bit of a bump in the long range into early next week. And then there's another system on the horizon that could impact the northern part of the province as we get into the day on Monday. So in terms of snow to come, really a trace in the south out of some of those scattered flurries that have been falling, but certainly 2 to 5 centimeters possible into parts of northern Manitoba, slightly enhanced accumulations into northeastern parts of Manitoba, into Shamattawa, for example, where that system will linger a little bit more as we get through Saturday into the day on Sunday. So your forecast for Saturday looks like this. Temperatures pretty similar to today in western Manitoba, close to -15 for daytime highs, -13s, -14s in the west as we get some of that cooler air starting to nudge its way in, but still sitting close to seasonal into Dryden and Fort Frances. I mean, temperatures should be around the -7 mark for daytime highs this time of the year, and then temperatures closer to -17, -18 through much of northern Manitoba. Your long range looking like this into western parts of the province, -16 into Brandon on Sunday. The Interlake looking at temperatures sunny, -17. Normally, like I said, we should be around -7 for this time of the year, and into northern Manitoba through the weekend, looking at temperatures really dipping, particularly for the Hudson Bay coast. So maybe some flurries again into Monday through the Pas, Flin Flon into Thompson. But Brittany, temperatures in Churchill into Shamattawa looking close to -40 for overnight lows into Sunday, and things remaining cold right into the middle of next week.
All right, thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
We head to Italy after the break, the latest from the Olympic Games, and of course, the nail-biting ending of Canada men's hockey game. Who will play for gold? Next.
Of your 7-day forecast in just a moment. Couldn't let you go into the weekend, of course, without Feline Friday, because we would not skip that. Tonight, maybe a look back at the holiday season with Eddie and Callie. Thank you, Gordon, for sending this picture in. Very relevant to the weather that we've seen this week with the snow and the wind in parts of the province. So we are looking at maybe a couple of scattered flurries into the day tomorrow, fairly isolated in nature, and -13 by the afternoon. Bit breezy at times. We'll see things windier as we get into the day on Sunday, -17 in Winnipeg. We'll get a bit more sunshine back. And then as we get into next week, maybe some light snow coming our way Tuesday. And then temperatures start to warm up by the end of the week.
Activity across the country dipped for a few hours today. But now we know it's going to be Canada versus the U.S. in the men's hockey finals at the Milano Cortina Winter Games. And Canadian fans couldn't have had a more exciting game to get to this point.
Trying to help out Reinhardt, worked it loose. Celebrity in front. McDavid. McKinnon scores!
And everybody could let out a sigh. That's the moment when the men's team won the semifinal game, beating out Finland 3-2.
Nathan McKinnon scored the winning goal with only 35 seconds left in that game. The team managing to win despite team captain Sidney Crosby's absence after suffering an injury on Wednesday.
And that final 35 seconds, oh my goodness.
2 minutes of my life.
Well, of course, there's no shortage of medals on Friday for Team Canada at the Winter Games.
Belmonte at the line. Yes, she can. Oh, my. 154.4.
Canadian speed skater Valerie Maltai won her third medal of the Games, a bronze in women's 1,500-meter long track, pulling through with a stunning upset in a race that, Riley, she wasn't even favored to win.
Now, despite a struggling start, Brendan McKay saved his best for last, winning bronze in the men's free ski halfpipe. In women's curling, Canada's 5-game win streak ended in defeat. They will now play for bronze after losing 6-3 to Sweden in the semifinals.
You know what? Not a bad day for Canada. And of course, that gold medal game is on Sunday, bright and early at 7:10 a.m.
Set your alarms.
A lot of places that are opening up early to get that game on. Get a little sleep Saturday night. My goodness, that's an early start.
Catch it all right here on CBC. And we're back to a full hour on Monday.
We will see you, hopefully, with that gold medal. Have a great night, a great weekend.